Hello again, managers. If you're new to the game, you might have questions like, what ID should I be using together? Or what's this bar over here for? Or should I be using someone like Lord Honglu with Manager Don? Because they both rank pretty high on the tier list, so should you use them together? Well, I'll help you answer all these questions in today's video. Alright, before we start looking at IDs, the first thing you should be familiar with are the 7 main status effects in the game. So the game calls these the keyword status effects, and if you're confused, I want you to think of them as like the different elemental types in the other gacha games, like in Honkai Star Rail or Wuthering Waves, because most of the IDs and teams will be built based around one of these 7 status effects. So make sure you know burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, sinking, poise, and charge. Alright, now that we're back in the game, let me explain to you how IDs work. So every ID in the game has some conditional that can make them do more. This could be more damage, additional effects, or higher clash numbers, just to name a few. But I think you'll understand more if I give you examples, so let me show you. So if I click on Hey Xiao Faust here, and you look at her skills, you can see that she has a conditional here with rupture. If the target has 4 plus rupture, you'll get additional coin power plus 1. Alright, now she has a bunch of other conditionals, but let me just show you another ID. So you'll see that they all have conditionals. So if I look at someone like Ringy Sang here and click on the skill, you'll see he has, if the target has 6 plus bleed, he gets clash power plus 1 as his conditional on his skill 1. And you can see on his other skills too, he also has these. So plus 1 clash power for every 3 bleed on the target. Now if you were to look at every ID's conditional, you would find that they would mainly have at least one of the 7 keyword status types as the main conditional. So that's why you should know the 7 keyword status types. So for Ringy Sang here, his main conditional would be bleed. As you can see, he has a lot of bleed conditionals. So he would fall under the bleed archetype. So when you're thinking of what IDs you should put together, you should think about the conditionals. So let's look at the Lord Honglu and Manager Don as an example. So should you run Lord Honglu and Manager Don? Well, if you look at Lord Honglu skills, you'll see that he mainly benefits from rupture and poise. So he would be a poise and rupture character. And if you look at Manager Dawn, see that she benefits mostly from bleed. Bleed. And lots of bleed. So they kind of don't have anything, they kind of don't have any like synergy with each other. So they don't really benefit from being together in a team. So if you were trying to have someone that can help Lord Honglu, you would want to pair him up with someone like Heisho Pak Otis, because she also benefits from rupture, and she can inflict a lot of rupture. So that would help him reach his conditionals faster and easier. Alright, before I go into talking about egos, there's one more thing you should know about the 7 keyword status types. So each one of the 7 keyword status types is actually linked to one of the 7 sin affinities. So burn is linked to wrath, bleed is linked to lust, tremor is linked to sloth, rupture is linked to gluttony, sinking is linked to gloom, poise is linked to pride, and charge is linked to envy. So when I say they're linked, what I mean is that every ID that's like a burn ID will have a skill that is wrath. So wrath is linked to burn, right? So every ID that's burn will have at least one skill that is wrath usually. So if I clicked on any of these burn IDs, you'll see that they have a wrath skill. So okay, this is not a burn ID. It's wrath, skill 2 wrath, skill 1, and even someone who's both a burn and tremor ID has a wrath skill and a sloth skill. Yeah. Alright, this is important because skills are used to generate ego resources. So hopefully you have some idea of what I mean, but I'll show you real quick a example. Wait, just go to this, and I'll bring one guy. Alright, so when Yiseng uses his wrath skill, you'll see that he'll generate 1 wrath resource. Okay, this is beating him. Okay, maybe this is not the best. Okay, this is not the best example. Okay, let me go to like the easiest. Alright, you'll see here when Yuseng uses his envy skill, it'll generate 1 resource of envy. One right here. So when you're thinking about using egos, you have to make sure you have the skills to feel them, otherwise obviously you won't be able to use them. So maybe I should give an example. So let's take the Blood Fiend team. Let's say you want to use Manager Dawn's Yearning Makala, and you can see that you'll need 5 lust, 3 gluttony, 2 pride, and 2 envy. So this is when the bar over here becomes pretty useful. If you just click on details, you'll be able to see how many and what skill types each of the IDs on your team have, and you can see the cost of all your egos. So I wanted to use Yearning Makala here, so it was 5 lust, 3 gluttony, 2 pride, 2 envy, right? So the 5 lust shouldn't be a problem because they're all bleed IDs, so you should already have a lust skill. You just have to look at the gluttony, pride, and envies. So if you look at just Dawn, she doesn't have any pride, gluttony, or envy skills, so she'll need other IDs to help her fuel the ego. So someone like Prince Mersault, he has 2 Pride and 3 Envy skills, so he could help, but now you also need some Gluttony, right? So you also have to probably add Otis or Barbara Otis or Priest Gregor to make sure you get the Gluttony skills to fuel the ego. Last thing I want to talk about are support passives. So every ID in the game has a support passive. These are different from the character passives. The character passives are for when they're on the field, and support passives are for when they're on the bench. And the support passives are just meant to help the IDs on the field a little bit. But the thing about the support passive is that they also have conditionals. So for Ring Yiseng, you need 4 Lust resources for his support passive to be active. Let me show you some what I mean by on field and on the bench. So when you go into a battle, let's go to like the easiest one here. If I select just Ring Yiseng, you'll see that his on-field passive assignment evaluation is the one that's active, while everyone else will have their support passive active because they're not on the field. Only Ring Yiseng is on the field, so everyone's bench support passive will be active, but it won't actually like activate until you fill out the conditional, which is so some of these are 3 Lust Renaissance, 3 Envy, you have to own 5 Lust for this one, and same with that one. Alright, that was probably a lot of information, so last thing is I'll just leave you guys with some team examples that you can look at. So I'm just on the Prydwen website here, and they have a pretty up-to-date team database. So you could just start off by looking at the teams on here and just copying them if you really want to. Like they even show some of the egos you can use and support passives, so that's pretty useful. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Keep talking about Limbus Company, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.